Welcome to the Berkshires Gone By, history and folklore about the westernmost and most beautiful county in Massachusetts. I'm your host, Brooke. In the early days of America, it wasn't the cities that suffered from crime. It was the countryside. It was because no one could hear you scream. Neighbors lived far down the lane, so if an intruder decided to ransack your home and steal all your properties, it was a long time before you were able to make it to the next residence for help. But if you do the crime, you suffer the consequences. Today's topic? Jail. In 1733, the first jail in Berkshire County was built in Sheffield. The first courthouse was built in 1764 and wasn't far away in Great Barrington. This jail would function for 32 years, from 1761 to 1776. The first sheriff of Berkshire County was Elijah Williams, brother of Williams College founder Colonel Ephraim Williams. Then, in 1765, Lenox became the new site for the jail. It was in 1784 that Lenox became the county seat because of its location at the exact center of the county. The first jail built in Lenox was on Old Stockbridge Road, but then it was moved to the southern corner of Main Street and Housatonic Street to be closer to the courthouse. The old courthouse was where the current town hall is, but the entire building was picked up and moved down the road around the corner to a new spot at the corner of Housatonic Street and Church Street. A new town hall was built in its old spot, and a new courthouse was built on Main Street. In 1812, the jail in Lenox burned to the ground, and prisoners had to be kept in the Superior Courthouse basement in the city of Pittsfield. The new courthouse, now the Lenox Library, also served as a jail for a time, with quite a few cells constructed in its basement. In 1868, Pittsfield became the new county seat, as the city was much larger and only one town north of Lenox, so still centrally located. The new Berkshire County Jail and House of Corrections was constructed at 264 2nd Street. It was a marble and brick structure that really looked the part. It was first put into use in 1871. Graham A. Root, from Sheffield, was the first sheriff to be elected into the office. The new jail included a shoe factory where prisoners could work. Sales of shoes helped support the maintenance of the building and also gave the inmates something to do. But it wasn't perfect. An Ohio paper called the Elyria Independent Democrat reported on July 5, 1871, "Escape from jail. A burglar escaped from the jail at Pittsfield, Massachusetts last week in an ingenious manner. He began by digging into the wall of his cell, intending to break a hole large enough for him to pass through. But before he got through the wall, he discovered that the keys of his cell were hanging on the wall about 6 feet from the door. He then tore the casings from the window, spliced them together, and then putting them between the grates, grappled for the keys. He was successful in getting them, unlocked his door, got into the attic, and slid down the water pipe. He was recaptured the next day at Albany." This was a time when executions were legal in the state. The accepted manner of dispatchment was hanging. When it was still the county seat, Lenox was the site of a few hangings. But the new jail in Pittsfield only saw 2. The last execution was that of William Coy, for murder in 1893. On 2 separate occasions, it was thought that it would be better if there were no jail in the Berkshires at all. Many people thought it would be better if all prisoners were sent to Springfield to do their time. But Sheriff J. Bruce McIntyre, who served in the office for 30 years, put an end to such notions. New techniques were introduced in the 1960s, which included educational opportunities and work release. The shoe factory was torn down. With the growing population of the county, the jail began to suffer from overcrowding, and Dan Fox Drive on the Pittsfield-Lenox line was considered for a new, larger facility. But the plan never made it any farther than an idea. It was finally decided that a new jail would be indeed built, but would be located on Cheshire Road. It would be a state-of-the-art building and cost $39.1 million. 2 years after it began, the building was finally finished, and inmates were moved in on the 5th of January, 2001. The old 2nd Street Jail is now used to help at-risk kids keep out of trouble through programs and education. Now that we've come so far forward in time, let's go back again. Captain Thomas Stedman of Terringham, was the son of Revolutionary War veteran Ensign William Stedman. After his father's death, he and his wife, Lydia, looked after his bedridden mother, Hannah. It's said that Hannah was headstrong and picky, and she demanded that her house be run in a very certain way. It's said that her constant demands were part of what drove Lydia to an early grave. Hannah lived to be 92, and lived on a pension she received for her husband's military service, but this money was used up on her care, and finally, her burial. After she passed away, Thomas's brother and sister wanted their share of the pension money, but the money had all been used up, and even an itemized list of expenses didn't convince his siblings, and he was locked away in jail in the town of Lenox in 1839 until his trial. What makes this most interesting is that Thomas kept a journal of his time there, and now I'd like to read you that journal. April 14th, went to Lenox, got there 11:15 o'clock, went into prison a little before night, cited Oliver to appear on Monday 20th, to show cause why I should not take poor debtor's oath. Snow on ground yesterday, and today, moaning wind blowing very hard from the northwest, cold. Thursday 16, pleasing this morning. Crane did not notify Oliver last night, gone this morning. Bought a candle Tuesday night, last evening bought some molasses, shaved today. Crazy man, not so raven. Friday 17th. Ate no supper last evening. Very little breakfast this morning. Quite unwell. Pleasant weather. Oliver sighted yesterday. Sent word back. He will attend to me after. About 8 o'clock, the crazy man began to improve their talents. Kept it up to a late hour in the evening. Then still, to about 1 or 2. Then begun, and are at it now, afternoon. Yesterday I was much unwell. Got a little milk porridge for dinner. Some more at night. Ate some, then drank some hot coffee. Ate no meat. Dr. Sabin did not call yesterday as I expected, nor this morning. He is now at home. I hear women singing now, and yesterday I heard them sing and felt the floor quiver as they danced. Weather is fine so far this morning. I cannot say as I am better or worse. I have no appetite to eat. Afternoon, some better. Cloudy rain some. Dr. Sabin and Bishop has been here this afternoon. Near or quite 8 in the evening. Dark thunder, rain hard, and lightning. Crane is going to bring me some porridge for supper. Sunday 19th. Crazy man quite peaceable. Rained hard in latter part of night. This morning clear. Wind northwest. Done breakfast. Had talk with Crane. Hain't got through. Expect him up again. The bell has rung for meeting. Crazy man, low voice most part of the time silent. Noon a smart shower. Crazy man bawl a little. Sent a letter to F. Cone. Dark wind blows hard northwest. Crazy man raving, swear, damning, pounding, stamping, traveling. The other crazy man helping what he can. Midnight raving mad. Monday morning. Milton Judd, son-in-law, came here. Crane sent after a justice to set in court with Tucker Court. Failed, could not find another justice. Monday 21. Afternoon, Milton Judd went home by way of Stockbridge to see Byington. Citation taken out again at night. Crane came and informed me that the citation could not be served under 30 days from the service of the first service. There we stopped, I being very much unwell all day. Crane brought me some porridge for supper, ate it and went to bed. Crazy man, quite moderate. Tuesday morning 21. Not so much unwell as I was yesterday. Had hot coffee and some bread and some cheese that Milton brought me here yesterday. Crazy man very raving last night and this morning. Middle of forenoon, Frederick Cone and Jemima came here, brought me a bed and some provisions. Fred went to Pittsfield. Jemima made tea, and we all took dinner together in the prison. Made up my bed. Mr. Crane made a friendly visit with us after dinner. After that, Fred and Jemima went for home, left me the watch. The young men have been in here and the crazy man on a visit. Night comes on. I've eat my supper and must go to bed. I forgot to state the conversation I had with one of the women in prison under my floor. I set up the window, and with that open, one of the women sung a tune. After that she stopped. I hummed The Soldier's Return. When I stopped, she sang out, "That is well done, Grandpa." I said, "Well then, you do better." She said, "I cannot, for that is first rate." I said, "I heard you sing and felt the floor move as you danced." "Oh yes, and this woman that is here with me stopped me, saying that I would disturb the old gentleman overhead." I told her that it did not disturb, for them to amuse themselves any way that they could, and thought of getting a fiddle to see if I could hear them dance after it. She said, "Oh Lord, I wish you would. Can you fiddle?" I said, "No, but I can make a noise on it." She said, "Oh well." She said, "Oh well. It will do some good to hear it squeak, and I will jig to dance loud enough for you to hear me." Since then, they have kept it up. Wednesday, the 22nd. Someone got my breakfast, drank 1 dish of tea, poured out another, but could not drink it, ate a little but gave up, traveled the room, grew sick, went to bed, had 2 spells of puking, very sick, raised nothing but water, went to bed, laid to betwixt a 11 and 12, some better, begun to write. Crazy man's steady hum, only once in a while rip out a little. At this time the one in his cell is making it go at a great rate. His cage rattles well. 10 minutes of 1 o'clock. I've been in bed most of the day. Got some porridge for supper. The trees is a-leafin' fast. Thursday, 22nd. Crazy man was still at it at 9 or 10, and remained till about sunrise. Since then kept up a continual hum, the sound rising and falling. I am tolerable well. Got breakfast half after 7. Had hot coffee. Pleasin' weather. Not much sunshine. Dr. Sabin has been here 2 hours, left me a fine apple, and gone home. It lacks a few minutes of 12. I've just spoke to the crazy man. All the answers is go to hell. That keeps repeatin' over very often. I had some talk with the woman below. Frederick and Sarah has come here. Brought provisions and other things. Had been and got advice of Byington. Also Bishop got another citation. Crane has cited Oliver to appear on Saturday at 10 in the morning. Came up here and informed me what he had done. Little after 9 I went to bed. Crazy man peaceable all night, and as yet this morning. Has been in here several times. Talks about taking a school. 9 o'clock, a woman singing, and at work on the ground floor. Friday, 24. About noon, Nathan came in, was locked in with me till about night, when I rang my bell, when Crane came and let him out. Saturday, 25. Milton came at about noon. I was let out, went before the court. Lester Philly and Thomas Twinging, justices, attended all day. At night adjourned till the next Friday. 1st day of May. Court set till Saturday night, 2nd day of May, when it was adjourned till the 22nd day of May, and discharged, after keeping me bound over from the 25th of April to the 29th day of June at night, then appealed it up to the higher court of common pleas. This is where his account of life in jail ends, with his freedom. Being imprisoned for debt was later abolished in the year 1855. There was simply no point in punishing people who couldn't pay by locking them away. But Thomas Stedman's journal still remains an interesting document of prison life at the time. There were other smaller jails, but these were more like holding cells that prisoners would be kept in before being transferred to a more permanent location. The village of Blackenton had one of these small jails. And that concludes our tour of jails in early Berkshire County. This has been The Berkshires Gone By, created, written, directed, and read by myself, Brooke Renier, and co-produced by Deanna Garner. If you'd like to contact us, find more episodes, or see images relating to our topics, please visit our Facebook page. You can also contact us by emailing us at theberkshiresgoneby, all one word, @gmail.com. We hope you'll join us for our next episode. Thanks for listening.